Welcome to EDUU 628. As we begin the third of our 4 courses together in Teaching the 21st Century Learner, let's revisit our PHATS one more time and recognize how far we've come along this particular journey. So we have the whole of our PHATS: philosophical stance, how to design curriculum, ability to be an authentic community of practice practitioner, tools, affordances, and strategies. Let's recognize that the P, philosophical stance, truly focused on the foundational knowledge. And when we moved in to 625, while we focused on how to design curriculum, we did move into valuation even more so than we did with foundational, but we continued building on our foundational knowledge. So there was great integration between foundational and humanistic. Now we're getting ready to move into 628. Meta-knowledge will be added to the core of our experience. So, how did we get there? Is where you really started building up a strong foundational base to then take into specifically focusing on assessments because of how much value they authentically transmit, translate, teach the learner along with whatever the content is. So, what are we moving into now? The ability to be an authentic community of practice practitioner. In this class, you will truly be moving through multiple realms, looking at your experience, because you, at this point, come into this course as a community of practice. Each one of you is a practitioner. You've worked together in 2 classes. You have a shorthand for communicating. You've done different group work. You have inside jokes. You have different understandings of how things went in the past that no one outside your group does. You actually will have a relationship that on some level you'll need to explain to your instructor who hasn't been on the same journey with you. Now, granted, he or she, because we do work as a community of practice, your instructors, he or she will know all the knowledge, but he or she will not necessarily know as individuals that which you specifically value. He or she will have an understanding of the things you did in your first 2 classes, but he or she will not have firsthand knowledge of how that experience felt for you, affective, how cognitively you were changed throughout the process, where you started to where you ended up. These are all things that, because you all already are part of your own community of practice, you will need to clearly communicate these things in your blog, as you talk with your professor, whether it's emails or wikis or however, in the online meetings. So please recognize, because this is where this kind of thing can happen, when someone enters a community that has had some real time and done some real work together. For someone new to come in, there can almost be that sense of, well, interloper, because he or she doesn't have the same shared cultural construct that you all do. And recognize that is part of what happens on the path from novice to practitioner to expert. Someone new is entering the arena that you and your cadre, you and your peers, have already kind of fleshed out, and you know who's who, and you know what this person means when they say that. So please be sure that you take that third person step outside of yourselves and recognize that your instructor in this class hasn't been on that path with you all the way through. When you do things like explore social learning theory, or you're focusing on the pathway from novice to expert, and you're doing lesson sharing, and you're discussing mentoring, all of these wonderful things, bringing alive the concept of active inquiry as you go about designing the first of what will eventually become the final, the first of your online course shells. It is your opportunity to authentically put into practice that which we have now got a foundational base of knowledge all about, and that which you value, both as a group and as an individual. Because you will be starting to move into meta-knowledge here through your application, through your creativity and innovation, through the problem solving and critical thinking you'll experience here, the communication and collaboration. Note, you've had all of that in your first 2 classes, but here is where it truly becomes the focus. Welcome to EDUU 628, where you truly will be focusing on your ability to be an authentic community of practice practitioner and be able to facilitate that, guide that, and mentor that for your students. Thank you.